Pretty good, but I think I've heard the jingle before, so I think that's
I was
copyrighted.
thinking 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm with my friends on Team
That's
U.
copyrighted.
Oh, shoot.
Close.
Well,
Maybe
30
not.
seconds is good, okay?
Sounded good though. I like it. We got some talent here. I think we need to go into the studio.
We need a Team U jingle challenge.
So at one point, Lee, you're going to hear about Michael's jingle for another run that he made. And it was actually pretty phenomenal. Love you, Liz.
Love you.
Bye-bye. Travel safe. I have the esteemed honor of introducing a very spectacular human this morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this morning's Cup of Team U. It's 7 a.m. here on the West Coast, and what we do is something very, very simple. Each and every morning at 7 a.m. Pacific, we get together as the Navy SEALs. I love this explanation of who we are and what we're doing and why these amazing human beings are all wide-eyed and bushy-tailed here at a very early hour on the West Coast. And that is so that we can come together and learn as a group and as an organization, so that we can make sure that we are continually developing the skill sets that we need from a personal and professional perspective for us to catapult ourselves, investing in ourselves, as Michael Seagraves just said, investing in ourselves to improve our own human condition so that we can improve the lives of the people around us, whether that's path changers on Tuesday or Thursday, or whether it's the business side and the business skill sets that we need to build our Team U business on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And today is a special day because it's today and it's right now. And you're here either watching us live on Zoom or watching us on Facebook Live or watching the recording or watching us on some other dimension in some other place, time, or physical location that I'm not even aware of. Welcome. And thank you for being here. I have the pleasure of introducing somebody who I learned from each and every single time we have a conversation. This is the kind of guy that's constantly tinkering, constantly playing, constantly developing himself so that he can help and teach those around him. This is somebody who I literally have a notebook out each and every time we get together so that I can write down and take notes, and I hope that each and every one of you do as well. He is the live master himself. He has been on his own go live journey for the better part of the last, I want to say 3 years. I don't know exactly how long. I'm sure he'll let you know. And put your hands together for our very own Mike Chavez. Take it away, Mike Chavez.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. So I'm so honored and privileged to be here this morning with you. And thank you for that beautiful introduction, Craig. And thank you for being our host and always making everybody feel special that plugs into these calls. And so Colette asked me to teach, and I always love it because it helps me try to figure out. But, you know, this is getting really a lot easier for me because I'll tell you why. Because I'm plugging in. I just got back from the Mastermind retreat, like most everybody on the screen knows. And Colette asked me, you know, maybe you could talk about why it's important to work as hard as you can to get to the next Mastermind retreat. And I started thinking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, maybe everybody on the team is probably sick of hearing about the Mastermind. But you know what? The Mastermind really is what this is all about. You know, we have, how many people we have on the call? We have 50 people on the call right now. That's a lot of brain power. It's a lot of power. It's energy, right? Our thoughts are things, and they come from the air. It's power, right? So just imagine how much power is on the screen. So I am going to talk about the Mastermind, and I'm going to talk about some of my takeaways, because I believe that some of the takeaways that I have, some of the epiphanies and paradigm shifts that I had at the Mastermind this weekend may benefit some of you on the screen, because it took me 2 masterminds. It took me not just the first one, but it took me going to a second one to have some of these realizations that I'm going to share with you. So the first thing I wanted to share with you is how cool would it be? I want you to use your imagination for a second. How cool would it be to read a book and then take the information and knowledge in that book and actually live it out, right? Actually experience it in real life. I mean, like, how cool is that? That's exactly what we did over the weekend. So first thing I wanted to share with you is that I got this book right here a while ago. It's Think and Grow Rich, but it's the Mastermind volume. And it's a really cool workbook. And if anybody's really serious about Think and Grow Rich and really studying this book, I suggest that you order this book. I got it on Amazon. I think it was $20. But what I like about this book is it breaks it down and it gives you footnotes and it gives you different ways to work through the book. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this book on the call, but you know, one of the first assignments that is in the blueprint is to read this book, Think and Grow Rich. And it throughout different stages and evolutions in your personal development journey, I've learned that, you know, you could read a book once, but you're not going to be the same person when you read it again. So you're going to have different takeaways. And I've listened to this book more than I've read this book. I've listened to it on audio quite a few times. But after experiencing the mastermind 2 times, I went last night, I think it was about 12:30, I sat down and I read chapter 10. That's chapter 10, The Power of the Mastermind. And I said, I'm going to talk about the mastermind. Maybe I should go read the chapter the night before and do my homework. And that's what I did. And I want to tell you, the power of the mastermind, the driving force, the 9th step towards riches. That's what chapter 10 is all about. But I have to tell you, after going to the mastermind twice and listening to this, I don't know, you know how many times I've listened to this on audio. Last night, when I sat down and I actually read the chapter, boom, boom, epiphany after epiphany, it started just happening. Because, you know, you could read about things in a book all day long, but until you start to live the information and take action on what's in the book and immersing yourself in what the information is telling you, like the mastermind, the power of the mastermind. I'm going to get to what is the power of the mastermind. We're going to break it down here in a couple seconds for you. So immersing yourself in the rich information that you learn from in these books, that's where it's at. So when I started thinking about why should you plan and why should you try to get to these masterminds? Because, you know, as I was reading the chapter, it was talking about wealth is created from power. And how do you get this power? You know, us just alone, our thoughts are things, this energy that we have. And that's why I said at the beginning of the call, there's 50 people on this call, right? This energy, these thoughts that we get, just one of us, you know, we have our power, we have our thoughts. That's it. In the book, in this chapter, it kind of gives you the example of a batteries, right? If you have one battery, it has that much energy. Then you put a bunch of batteries together, obviously it multiplies, right? So in the book, it talks about how when 2 minds come together, it creates a third and powerful mind. So there were 17 of us, 18 including Joaquin, and I'm just going to throw Joaquin in there as a full mind because that dude is sharp, 14 years old, sharper than a lot of adults that I've seen. So we had 18 beautiful minds there at this mastermind retreat. So much power. You feel the energy, right? Like you look around the room and you just see these connections. And one of my biggest takeaways from the mastermind trip was the things and the skills that we need to work on as leaders. And what I love most about what Michael did is, instead of getting in front of the room and telling people what a leader should look like, he used the power of the mastermind, right? Because Michael knows that he has we all know Michael has a very powerful mind, but he also knows that there's more power in the other 17 other minds that were in that room. So what he did is he went around the room and he asked everybody, what do you think is a good quality leader? What is it that you see in the leader that you want to follow? And he's don't make this about me, because it's not about me. I really want you, if there's things that I'm not doing, I want you to tell me those things, right? Put it all out there. So that's what we did. We made a list. We wrote, and Annie Waters, the beautiful Annie Waters, she has some beautiful writing. She wrote all these things down. And then, so we look at all these things from all these different people, right? And so you get an idea of what Colette thinks a leader should be like. You get an idea of what Lee Norwood thinks a leader should be like. Or Yuvaria, I'm not going to go through them. I don't want to miss anybody. So those are just some of the people that I see, right? So we're hearing all these things. So then the next thing that we do, it was beautiful the way that it was set up. So for now, we know all these things from all the different leaders in the mastermind, what they think a leader should look like. And then what we learned was our growth quadrant, right? The process of what it's like. You don't know what you don't know. Then you know what you know, and you start to grow. And then you go into flow. I think I missed something. I made a post. I did it yesterday. I had it memorized. I made this post yesterday on Facebook. Some of you might have saw it. I'm going to read it to you because I was just sitting there and I was trying to think of what I was going to share. I wanted to share about the mastermind. And it was about this, exactly what I'm telling you guys right now. So let me read my post to you real quick. And it's all about mentorship. If your mentors don't have mentors, you need new mentors. Everyone deserves a mentor. It's something I heard about for a long time and never knew the importance and impact of having one could have on my life. The first 2 years of my live video journey, I didn't have the money or the resources to invest in world-class mentorship and business development. So I struggled to figure out a way to take care and support my family, leveraging the internet, making connections, all by building amazing relationships. I was taught by my mentor in December 2018 about the growth process. First, you don't know what you don't know. Then you know what you don't know. Then you know what you know and you start to grow. And then you get into flow. Each step along the way, it teaches you things about yourself you never knew existed. It's imperative you find a mentor who is willing to pour into you in all quadrants of your growth process. I'm so happy to say at this point of my growth process, I'm in the flow state, which I'm enabled to give back to others and duplicate what my amazing mentor has taught me over the last 18 months. Are you looking for world-class mentors and personal development with integrity and culture? Thank you, Michael Vincent Zappia, for believing in me more than I believe in myself and being my mentor, my path changer, and my friend. So that's what the mastermind is all about. You see, because if I wouldn't have gone to the mastermind, I would never be able to create what I just created. And I created that because of the other masterminds and the power that I got from them. So if you really want to plug in to your leadership, your personal development journey, and really make it something unbelievable, get with your power team. Because and if they're not plugged into the system and they're not plugged into what we're doing with the mastermind, keep going up the ladder till you find somebody, because there's a lot of people in Team U right now that are really on fire for what we're doing with this whole mastermind thing, because it's so powerful. It is so powerful. And December 2018, guys, I've been plugging into these calls now for how long is that? It's 18 months. We know, you guys know how much calls we have. Granted, sometimes I oversleep and I miss the calls. I do, but for the most part, I'm really consistent on these calls. And the reason I'm telling you this is I made that post. You guys heard what I just read to you about needing a mentor and everything, okay? And somebody that I enrolled, she's not even on this call. I know she's not here. Somebody I enrolled last year. She made a comment saying that I wish I could find a mentor. I'm looking for a mentor. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I personally enrolled you. I might not be your mentor, your path changer. Okay. But the reason I'm telling you this story is she's not really doing anything, but she's still looking, she's still searching. Maybe I'm not the one because our personalities don't click. The reason I'm telling you this is because when we were at that mastermind retreat, out of the 17 people that were there that were in this business, guess how many people Michael personally enrolled? One. Lee effing Norwood. Okay. So the reason that I'm telling you that is when you're going out there and you're doing this and you're meeting people, it's not always going to be the person that you meet. In fact, you know, since she made that post, the wheels started spinning because I started thinking, oh my gosh, this woman needs a mentor. I started thinking, oh my gosh, I have so many amazing people in my organization alone, let alone the rest of the mastermind and the rest of Team U. Mike, why aren't you plugging this lady, introducing this lady to other people and getting her a mentor? That's the power of this team. And that's exactly what I'm going to do today. I'm going to reach out to her and I'm going to tell her, it's obvious you're still looking for a mentor. And it wasn't me because, and I don't take it personal. I show her the system, but guess what? I can still be smart and think about, hey, you know what? I was at the mastermind and there was some amazing, there's some amazing women there that might be able to help her out. That's the power of the mastermind. So do whatever you have to do to get with your power team, to plug in to the leadership that's being developed here with Team U. We have our mastermind, right? The core group, their first group that went. But Michael wants to make this duplicatable and have everybody have access to what we're doing with this leadership development thing that we have going on here. Because we all know that the only way that this is going to grow is if we duplicate, if we plug in and we reach out to our power team. And we're all here. We're all here. I think the thing that makes me and Michael and Colette and Craig and any leader that enrolls somebody is to feel that somebody didn't get support or didn't get help. Oh, that really gets to me. That really gets to me. So it's all here, guys. The mastermind is amazing. The leadership development here is world class. I read in my post, you know, I did not have the money or the resources to have access to world-class personal development. You guys, we're learning from this book, and this book right here is this is the same book that everybody that you hear that teaches from. Tony Robbins just mastered this book. Well, guess what? I'll put our fearless leader up against anybody in the world, and I mean that hand to heart, 100%. The power of the mastermind is amazing. So I strongly suggest that you plug into it. Success leaves clues. And I'll tell you this quick story before I go. I was reading the book and it was talking about Henry Ford. And Henry Ford was a smart guy. Henry Ford was the type of guy that people knew there was something special about him. When he would get a gift, he would get a watch. He would take a watch apart and put it back together. And that's how he became a watch repairman. He just had this natural knack for building things. And Henry Ford was doing fine. But then he met Thomas Edison and a gentleman Firestone and a couple other guys. And he created this mastermind. Guess what happened after he met those guys and he plugged into a mastermind? He created the assembly line. And then boom. If Ford is what we know it, whether you like Ford or not. But I learned a lot of interesting things about Henry Ford last night. I started reading a little bit more about him and how in his career. And that's another thing. I just started reading about the book, and then I started Wikipediaing some of the names of the people that Henry Ford masterminded with. I love history. So anyways, the power of the mastermind is unbelievable. And that's what I wanted to share. I'm going to turn it back over to Craig. I know he has some insight. He can fill in the gaps maybe for a couple minutes. It's 7:20, so I think I hit it right on the dot. Thanks, guys.
I think you hit it right on the dot, Mike Chavez. It was a powerful weekend, and it was always powerful to pull together your mastermind. I did revisit that chapter on the mastermind. It's page 249 in my version of this particular book, and I hope each and every one of you are starting to piece together your own mastermind. You're in business for yourself, not by yourself. We talked about this yesterday or the day before. I can't remember what Zoom or what we talked about when, but I know that we talked about it. Each and every one of us can have our own mastermind. Each and every one of us has our business that we're building and partners that we're working very closely with. Hopefully your power team is part of that mastermind. And hopefully your mentors are having an influence on the people that you're mentoring. If you're not mentoring people in your group, that is a huge opportunity for you right now. Because just like you need the mentorship, I need the mentorship. All of us need a guide, somebody that can help us in that direction and move in that direction. Can somebody change the spotlight? I don't have co-host. If you're not mentoring people in your organization right now, you're missing out on a pretty big opportunity. The people that you're working with, I'll just go to the gallery view real quick. Raise your hand if you've gotten a text message from Michael Zappia telling you that you're amazing and that you've got this and that you're good, and most of the time unsolicited. Look at all those hands. And I know there's more people that aren't raising their hands because Michael sends these texts to everybody. And if he sees your face on this, if he sees your video on, chances are you've gotten a text message from him offering some level of accolade or some level of recognition or some level of you're awesome, you're amazing, and you got this going on. That's mentorship. That's helping you to turn off the negative self-talk, helping you to push forward, helping you to drive. It's a really important aspect of what's happening here and why Michael has found success with 4,400 people, and that's going to be 44,000. It's going to turn to 440,000. It's going to turn to 4.4 million. The list goes on. It's going to keep going. And I really want to see what happens to Michael's fingers as he gets up to 4.4 million. But at that point, he's going to have many of us that have taken underneath his wing, his mentorship, and are then fulfilling into our own organizations as well. So I welcome you to do this as soon as possible. Begin sharing with your teammates and the people that are in your organization how amazing they are and find out where they need support right then and there. And begin to pull people together and say, hey, I'm pulling together my mastermind. Would you be a part of it? Hey, I've got people, I've got questions, and I want people that can support me. Are you willing to get in there, and can I help and support you as well? Mike, that was a tremendous teaching today. Today's Wednesday. Tonight, I hope you have launches. I hope you have home events. I hope you have Zooms. We're very much looking forward. Kathy is launching her business once again. We've got another overview that Kathy's doing tonight at 5 o'clock. And we'll see y'all tomorrow for a cup of Team U, 7 a.m. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Mike. That was awesome.
Thanks, Mike. Great job.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mike. Wonderful.
Have a great day.
Mike. Thanks, Mike.
Have a good morning.
Thanks, Mike.